Alright, so today it is Foundation Friday and we're going to be trying out a putty foundation. At this point, I feel like I've tried out every texture besides putty, pretty much. We've tried foundation in a jar, foam foundation. It's putty time. This is actually the Stila Perfectly Poreless Putty Perfector. That is not a joke. I feel like they were all sitting around in a room trying to think of the most ridiculous, hard to pronounce name for this. You have succeeded. Why was that necessary? 4 Ps. So before we jump into the foundation, if you're new here, this is where I do a new first impression video every single Friday on my channel, 6 p.m. Pacific time. All of my Foundation Friday videos are linked down below in a playlist. All right, let's hop onto the website, read some of the claims about this thing. So this Putty Perfector retails for $39 and you only get 0.38 ounces of product. So you get less than half an ounce of product for $39. That is very expensive. Most liquid foundations are around 1 ounce of product. Stick foundations are usually around 0.46, I think, around there. This is less than both of those and it's freaking expensive. This also only comes in 5 shades. I have the shade Fair, which is the lightest shade. So reading on Sephora, it says it's an innovative hybrid skin perfector. Is my mic on right now? Woo! Anyways, by the way, I got a pop socket and it's life-changing. Innovative hybrid skin perfector that's a traditional pressed powder and a cream foundation. Weightless invisible formula, natural looking coverage, smooths the look of skin, blurs imperfections. It can be worn alone or layered on top of liquid foundation, which is kind of interesting. It's supposed to be smudge proof and waterproof, long lasting, and ensures complexion perfection from morning to midnight. It says it's perfect for all skin types. Those with oil prone skin will love this oil free formula, which leaves the skin looking matte, dewy, and fresh. I don't know how something's supposed to look matte and dewy at the same time. Tell me. For those with drier skin tones, the unique texture will not settle into fine lines or feel cakey on the skin. And that's it. Okay, I'm gonna dig in and play with this and show you guys a close-up because we need some putty porn right now. I'm gonna insert some swatches right here of this shade compared to some of the other foundations I have just so you can see how it compares. All right, so swatch time right here is the Stila Putty Foundation in the shade Fair. Next over is Urban Decay All Nighter in 0.5. Dermacol 208, L'Oreal Pro Matte Foundation in 101, and the Makeup Forever Stick Foundation in 115. So I think that's everything. If you're excited for this video and you like Foundation Friday, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you want to see how the Stila Perfectly Poreless Putty Perfector applies and wears throughout the day, you're in the right place. Just keep watching. Whew! That was a close call. Almost started filming without the mic on. So I've already washed, moisturized, primed my face. My 2 products I use will be listed down below. Okay, what is in my eye? It is 10:53 in the morning. It has been a struggle and a half getting to this point right here. So since it says that you can apply this thing on top of foundation, I'm not going to do that, but I do want to spot conceal on half my face and then just see how much coverage it has without spot concealing. Since this is supposed to be kind of like a powdery finish, I don't know if I'm going to want to add concealer on top afterwards. This is the Holika Holika Cover and Hiding Liquid Concealer. I actually used this a couple days ago for the first time just as spot concealer because I was out of my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind and it worked pretty well and matched my skin tone pretty well. So I'm going to spot conceal on this side of my face since this is where I have a ton of acne. And by spot conceal, I mean pretty much put concealer all over down here. With the concealer on, we'll be able to see how the Stila product applies on top of liquid. Lately, if I don't have a double shot thing from Starbucks, I'm not alive. So here's the side without concealer, here's the spot concealer. Let's go in with this putty. So it's supposed to have a natural matte finish, and it says for best results, apply with their Wonder Brush. I think the most similar brush I have to that is my Sigma F82. I might try my sponge too. I don't know, I can't really see this being a sponge kind of product. Packaging is pretty light, so you get a sponge right here. I never use these sponge things. It has a little protective plastic thing, kind of like a cushion compact that, oh, doesn't snap shut. No, it just kind of chills right there. It doesn't actually totally snap shut. I don't know if I want to dip my finger in and then apply it and like blend out with the brush or just stick the brush directly in here. I just want to touch it. Feels more firm than I thought. This isn't quite as exciting. Feels a lot more firm than like Play-Doh. It is making an indent right there. Kind of have to rub to get any kind of major product. Oh, I'm definitely gonna dip my brush in. Just going in with the brush is the way to go because I got barely any product. Whoa. Feels super lightweight. Like feels like air. Feels like a powder. What the heck? I'm already getting some, it's like grabbing on to something right here. So applying it on top of the concealer right now. This is making my face look really dry. Looks very natural. Definitely agree with the natural coverage kind of claim. I think I'm getting about medium coverage. I wouldn't even say this is clinging to dry patches because I really don't feel like I have a whole lot of dry patches right now. I have combination skin, I get oily throughout the day, but it's making my skin look dry. So if you have dry skin, definitely not the product for you. It's clinging in certain spots, really weird. But when I look far away in this mirror, it just looks kind of like I'm wearing a natural kind of powder. Not looking great on my forehead, it looks very dry. Might as well try a little bit of a sponge on this side. Why not? Kind of drag it. That covered up that acne. Yeah, again, clinging on down here. I'm gonna switch back to the brush. Definitely a powder finish, and it is looking matte for sure right now. Plastic thing seems kind of pointless to me, like it's just getting in the way, and since it doesn't actually snap shut, it's not like it's keeping any kind of air out really. Ooh, that looks pretty dry and bad. I feel like if you just looked at my face right now and you didn't know my skin type or anything, you would think I had severely dry skin. I'm gonna see if it's buildable since I still have a lot coming through. I don't think you want to build this one up. I'm gonna give it one more shot down here. It looks like I need to exfoliate right here. That's how dry and patchy it's looking. I'm obviously not going to powder my face with this one since it is a powder finish. We're going to call the check-in time 11:10. It's 11:07 right now. So I'm going to do the rest of my makeup and I will be right back. All right, so before I put on the rest of my makeup, I just want to show you guys, hopefully you can see what I'm seeing. I think you guys can see this. It's a little bit hard to pick up on camera, but there is some major dry and patchiness right here. It also just doesn't look that great, like around my nose. It looks like it's already been on for like hours, like it's worn off around here. I don't think it's totally picking it up actually, but right here, there's again more dryness. This is where it first like clung on right when I first applied it. I blended it down my neck and you can see it didn't really cover my acne down here. Whoa, my dark circles are intense. Look at my forehead. My forehead looks so freaking dry. Pretty much all over. Center of my forehead looks dry. Up here looks extremely dry. So I'm gonna try and use a shit ton of highlighter and stuff to hopefully bring my skin back to life because right now I'm looking extremely dry. All right, so it's now 11:57. So I have a lot of thoughts that have quickly changed within the span of 50 minutes. First off, I've never seen my skin look drier in my entire life. Putting concealer on top of this, since it does have kind of like a powder finish, I had a little bit of trouble blending it out. It kind of wanted to stick to it since it's like a powder. So if you have really like textured skin and have issues with that, you might want to put on any liquid products first. With that being said, since it is a powder finish, my blush, bronzer, everything blended out super easily on top, but I do feel like it almost like wiped away some of the product. From far away, I feel like it looks nice. It looks natural, but when you get up close, my skin just looks so freaking dry. Now in the last half hour, I feel like it has kind of warmed up to my face, and as you can see, my forehead doesn't look totally matte and dry anymore, but I also did use a setting spray. I use a setting spray every single day. I just used Urban Decay All Nighter, and when I sprayed this on, I feel like this actually really helped to make my face look less dry and powdery and just kind of like melt everything in. I also doused my face in highlighter, so that's a lot of the glow you're seeing right now. But when I look up close, I still have those same dry patches. I'm curious to see how this controls my oil throughout the day since it is so dry. But now that the rest of my makeup is on, I don't think it looks quite as horrible as it first did. So on the rest of my face, with a big fluffy brush, I used the e.l.f. Fair to Light Invisible Bronze. I do feel like this shade is a little bit light when I was looking at it in natural lighting. I think it can work, but it might be a tiny bit light. So for blush, I used Ofra's new Bellini blush, just like this pink one, fine. Then I used the new Ofra highlighter in Bali at first, which was way too dark and gold. So then I had to go over it with my Physicians Formula Natural Nude. Eyes, I tried out this BH Cosmetics palette. Look at this marble. I'm so in love with this packaging. This is the Marble Collection Warm Stone. I just went in with a bunch of these shades, and like usual, BH Cosmetics 9 out of 10 times their eyeshadows are bomb. Lashes, I use one of my favorites, the Cara S4. These are dollar lashes. I'll link them down below. Bare Minerals liquid lipstick in the shade Fire. This is the first liquid lipstick of theirs I've tried. This smells literally exactly like brownie batter, literally identical. I don't know how you're not supposed to eat this. So I think that's everything on my face. Necklace, link down below. It's from Rocksbox. So again, we're calling the check-in time 11:10. The next check-in I do will be in natural lighting, so I'll see you guys in a few hours, hopefully after I've had a really productive few hours, because I need to. All right, so it's almost 4 p.m., so it's been on for about 5 hours now. I was just standing in front of the oven and now I'm freezing. Does anyone else do that after you cook? Like let the heat up your body? But now I feel like I'm in a freaking igloo. So my lashes are off. Let's look at the foundation. Overall, I actually think it looks a lot better than when I first applied it, probably because the oils from my skin are kind of coming through and making it look like skin, not a piece of matzo. A lot of the dryness and crackiness has kind of gone away a bit. I think the parts where it looks bad are on my forehead. It looks like it's almost like worn off, or it's just like not sticking to my acne really. On any kind of acne or texture, it's just still grabbing there. But on the rest of my face, like if you didn't have acne or a lot of texture, I could see this kind of warming up and looking a little bit better. Can't tell if I'm zooming or if I just move the camera closer. There we go. I just ate and here's how the lipstick is holding up. So I do think the center of my forehead looks a little bit better than it did this morning, but anywhere around like the perimeter of my face does not look good. It looks like it's like totally worn off, and I haven't even been touching my face or anything. Up here it looks really dry and it is kind of settling into my line right here. Getting a little bit of creasing on my upper lip right here. I wouldn't say it looks good, but it doesn't look horrible. Definitely looking still a bit dry and everything around here. When you just look at my face right now, I do think it looks natural. Like it doesn't look like I have a ton of face makeup on or anything, but that's also probably because like half of it's worn off. So by the end of the night, we'll see how this controls my oil. 5 hours in, looks better than before, doesn't look good. Okay, so it's 8 o'clock, ending this an hour early because my body's feeling pretty crappy right now and I'm gonna go lay down. So it's been on for 9 hours and I actually think it looks really nice at this point. I feel like it's worn better throughout the day. This is not nearly as like broken down and oily as I usually get. It still looks bad on my forehead up here and on the dry areas where it kind of clung to, but as far as like the center of my face and just overall when you look at my face from far away, it looks nice. Same situation and worn off in the same areas that I told you guys in the last check-in, so I'm not gonna touch on that. I feel like it's controlled my oil pretty well. I mean, I am dewy on my forehead, but I actually like that. I think it just looks more like skin right now. So I'm kind of confused, kind of torn. My lipstick is down on my chin. Is that lipstick or did it totally rub off right there? Oh, it has completely rubbed off on my chin. I just noticed. Okay, so when I step more into the light so I can actually see, it's actually completely rubbed off in certain areas of my face. On my chin over here and also all around here, it's like not even on my face anymore. Never mind. I retract those previous statements. Could not see from where I was standing before. It's like worn off around here and then it's almost like bunching up right here. So is this the worst wearing thing I've ever worn? Definitely not. From far away at this point, I think it looks fine. Did not like it for the first few hours. Do I think it's worth $38 or $39, whatever it was? For me, definitely not. I think it just has too many problem areas and issues for me to reach for again. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I'm gonna go lay down. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.